The Big Show is a very repetitive title and also a Netflix original series starring Paul White, aka The Big Show. If you're a non-wrestling fan, he's a big, giant guy that they actually used to say was the son of Andre the Giant. If you don't know who Andre the Giant is, then I don't really know what to say to you. If you are a wrestling fan, then you know that The Big Show is a 20-plus year veteran. And this is telling the story of him retiring from the WWE, and he's got to adjust to family life. He has a wife, he has 3 kids, one from a previous marriage. That kid comes to live with them, comes from Minnesota all the way down to Tampa Bay. Yes, in Florida. And they even reference the WWE. Okay, they reference the WWE a lot. A lot. This is also only 8 episodes. And you could tell that they were figuring they might not get another season because, holy fuck, that they put a lot of cliches into this. It's a family sitcom where he's got to be a good parent, he's got to adjust to home life, help raise his kid from a previous marriage, and work with his wife to make the daughter Lola, the oldest one, part of the family life. And then there's JJ, who's the youngest daughter, that is going to be an evil genius. That's a running gag there because she's very smart, mischievous, and throws out a lot of one-liners, a lot of pop culture references while also being a kid. Then there's a middle child, Mandy, who is, wants to become the lower class president, which actually is not the president of the lower class, it's just a school title. And that's pretty much it. It's a family sitcom about coming together and sharing laughs and everything, and it is really generic. It is painfully generic. However, I do want to say that the comedic timing of The Big Show actually was pretty good in this. He does have natural comedic timing. Oh, and also has Urkel, aka Jaleel White. He is in this for some reason. I guess maybe he was one that they just picked up and said, or maybe him and Big Show are friends. I have no goddamn idea, but he's there and he's in a few episodes. He's fine. He's Big Show's best friend, and even though he's kind of a goof, so really he hasn't changed much since Family Matters. But every episode has a different theme, and really what it all centers around is family. So how is it? I gotta admit that I did laugh a few times. It is very groan-inducing a lot because it is cliched, and they're running through everything to try and make sure, oh, we gotta cover all these plots because we're probably not gonna get another season, so we gotta do all this. And it's not bad. I will say this. It's not that bad. Now, it's not great by any stretch of the imagination. I am by no means close to the target audience for this, as I don't have kids. So kids will enjoy this. Families can enjoy this. You can sit your kids down and actually have them watch this, and especially if they're a wrestling fan. Even if they're not a wrestling fan, they might enjoy this. This might inspire them to watch wrestling, and then you could have your kids enjoy such great, shows as, WWE programming aside and their flaws right now, it does focus on family, and there is an endearing quality to it, and Big Show's comedic timing is quite good. You do have you have the typical stuff of like, okay, you have one child that's like the center focus of one. They have these overarching storylines. Lola gets a boyfriend at one point, and that doesn't work out because he's a big fan of Big Show, and Big Show's like, oh, hey, cool, I have a fan, big fan, and they hang out, and that doesn't work out ultimately. And Lola wants, him to be around. The reason she moved down there is because, oh, he's finally retired from the ring. Well, she loves her mom, but she wants to move down there because she misses her dad. And that's an overarching theme that goes, and then, oh yeah, you got JJ that's always being the one that's getting into trouble, and she's really smart, gets put in a smart class. You have the wife who is a real estate agent and then gets fired and then gets her own practice, and you got a whole bunch of stuff going on, and just crazy comedy hijinks and everything, and you get the food fights and stuff. You get quite a few food fights in this, so it is like a WWE holiday episode. But really, fans and non-fans can watch this. Now, I admit, it's not great. It's really not. And the laughter, which I'm sure it's a laugh track from the frickin' 60s or 70s. Maybe it's a laugh track from now. I have no goddamn idea. A lot of the jokes don't work. They really don't. Big Show makes his humor work, and the cast is actually pretty good. The main cast, the family cast, they're pretty damn good. They play their roles fine. But it just is what it is. It's typical. I mean, in episode 1, Big Show has doubts about being a good parent. Lola comes down and, she wants to adjust to this life and everything. And Mandy stages a sit-in because she doesn't want to give up her room, and this starts her idea of maybe wanting to become lower class president. Episode 2 is about career day, and Big Show, Big Show was asked about what are his plans now that he's, retired. And then, hey, maybe he should get into real estate. Well, that doesn't work out, and his wife is trying to sell a haunted house that they never really go into because it's a family show and they probably couldn't afford to show any ghosts. He did say about a bad first day or whatever. It's like, well, I broke Macho Man's shin on my first day. And then they even have a contract sign at the end of episode 2 because Lola and Mandy were fighting over some stuff, borrowing clothes and everything. So they had a contract signing. And Big Show even mentioned, well, nobody, it's not a contract signing unless somebody gets powerbombed through the table. A lot of wrestling in references. Episode 3, we had, trank darts and gator spray from a gator can because they're in Florida. And then Urkel and Big Show got sprayed and tranked. No, that's not a euphemism. Well, we get the one funny part, and I hate to admit that I laughed at this, but it's like the human genome. Big Show's pulling the big expandy plastic ball out, and for simple people, it's called the expandy ball, and he's just doing this, and I'm like, I'm ashamed to admit I laughed at that, because that's exactly what I would have fucking done in that case. Apparently he's afraid of mascots. He overcomes that by punching Jaleel White in the face. While he has a mascot, gear on, thankfully, or has mascot gear on. They reference Minions and bananas because JJ's got all her smart kids over there, and everybody wants bananas and other things. Oh, she's Gru. I think that's his name. Isn't that his name from Despicable Me? I have no idea. I didn't really like Despicable Me, and I put a lot of stuff out of my mind. So, we go to episode 4, cooking show, all this. Him and Lola are trying to bond. That doesn't work because she changes the family recipe of a casserole that they had from when she was 8, and the reason that he wanted to keep it the same way is it reminds him, it's like a time capsule of when she was young and when he was able to hang out with her. But she's like, well, things evolve. I'm still your daughter, all this, and all more stuff and everything. The cook-off didn't go all that well, understandably. On it, it's good mid-morning Tampa Bay, and everything got burned. And then his wife gets fired from her job, but starts her own practice. There's a hamster in episode 5, a space hamster, a hamster in space, and it's only in that episode. I think it was for a school project. What happened to the hamster? Did the hamster grow up and take over the world? I would like to see that. So yeah, and the mom kind of goes insane, rearranging rooms, doing hair, because she doesn't have anything to do, and it needs to be suggested, oh wait, she has to do her own practice and stuff like that. And the boyfriend thing that I referenced earlier, that Lola tries to have a boyfriend, that doesn't work. They go to an escape room thing. Actually, it was kind of funny, and Big Show just knocks the door out to escape the room, and the girl that's working there says, man, Tampa Bay has too many wrestlers. Again, wrestling reference. But boy, Tan France from Queer Eye for the Straight Guy showed up and helped the wife get back her confidence. Wife's her first name, the actress's first name is Allison, by the way. And then, boy, we get to episode 6, and this is where they got desperate and brought in some WWE employee cameos, or former WWE wrestlers. It's a cruise that's lumped in with an anniversary, but wife's trying to sell the house. So she's going off and doing a whole bunch of stuff. Instead of the husband going off to do things, we have the wife doing things. 2020, we're getting all crazy up in here. And then he busted down another door before they went on the cruise and said, try to remember why you fell in love with me so many doors ago. Lola babysits, they have a party, a crazy party, and it turns out the Big Show was actually spying on them this whole time, even though they tried to cover it up. So we had Mark Henry, Mick Foley, and Rikishi show up, and in Mark Henry and Big Show got couples massages. Don't ask. It's because she was not the wife was not there. She was trying to sell this house and trying to get the deal taken care of. And she was able to. She was able to start her own practice because she sold a haunted house. Man, that's how the Haunted Mansion ride started, wasn't it? Well, like I said, Mark Henry, Rikishi, and Mick Foley were there. Mick Foley I gotta admit, for somebody with comedic timing, usually he wasn't all. Well, he had one funny joke in there. He said, "Hey, fall over the side of the boat. If she jumps in, she loves you." And he said, "Foley, did that work for you?" It did not, which was fine. Rikishi, I don't know why they got Rikishi there, but okay, maybe they were low on people that they could bring in that actually meant something. I kid. He was a good tag team wrestler. Mark Henry's there. Actually, he probably had the best, cameo. And yep, it turns out Big Show had a camera. That episode ends there. Second to last episode, that is. Well, we get a real estate ad, all cheesy and everything, because the wife wants to start her own service. A charity wrestling event where Big Show gets the itch to get back in the ring. And he mentions that it's like, how embarrassing it was. I ate a piñata. I thought it was a confetti cake. I ate a cardboard horse. Big Show willing to make fun of himself quite a bit. And during this whole time, like a couple episodes ago, Mandy falls for a boy that she's in that lower class president debate with, and it's a black kid, but with the name of Taylor Swift. I'm not fucking kidding. There are a lot of Taylor Swift references. At one point, because this whole thing did not work, of them, like having this healthy debate and agreeing with each other, they disagreed on one thing, and he said, "We are never, ever getting back together." I gotta admit, I groaned, but more because I wasn't the one that said it. Only I can say bad jokes. So, Big Show talks about failed merch, like, the hairdryer, the big blow. So many jokes. The big toe, and then the big glow, it's a night light. And more stuff. There was an overarching thing of Lola seeing her best friend from Minnesota and her mentioning, hey, maybe you can move back. I think her friend was Alex. Maybe you can move back. And Lola thinks about it. And JJ gets a very pretty touching, sweet message to her under the guise of lying about that it was a friend that was going to move away. And she said, really, actually, that was kind of genuine there. That was really cool because she always wanted, another big sister. And, she could be, because she was, she was her dad's, because she was part of the family, even if she was living far away before. It was pretty cool, and we had that happen. And then Big Show decided to come back. He fights two guys and decides he's going to come back. And the family's not happy about it. They're not happy about it at the end of that episode or the beginning of the eighth episode. And he misses WWE. And wife says, hey, do a retirement tour. Do that. Performance center stuff. And JJ gets a dog from the neighbor after being explicitly told that Big Show that her dad was allergic. And they hide and hijinks and everything. And oh yeah, a guy that was the assistant became the assistant that worked at the same real estate agent that the wife did. Oh wait, turns out to be a really screwy guy, and it wasn't just nepotism that kept him at the place because his dad owned the whole thing. Nope, he was just a creep, and he gets found out because he finds out the kids are hiding a dog, and then he gets kicked out because he was being a prick. Okay, that job lasted all of 2 days, maybe a day. And then Big Show decides he's not going to go back. He doesn't want to go back because he gets in a fight with Lola. She's like, hey, I really wanted to be there. I really wanted you to be there. And that pretty much is what happens. It turns out family is what's all important. He decides not to come back to wrestling. They really were forcing everything in on this because they weren't going to get another season. Oh, and then he has a match with the kids, a match. And JJ was dressed up like a little, the little show. And she jumps on him even though she's supposed to be a tag partner. And he's like, aren't you supposed to be on my side? She's like, heel turn. Ever heard of it? I'm ashamed to admit that made me laugh. It was, okay, what I'm trying to squeeze out here is it was fun. It was fine. Is it great? No. My tweets indicated I hated it, and there were a lot of groan-inducing moments. But you know what? Yes, it was fun. Not great. And now, by the time you see this, I may have already reviewed the main event because I'm going to review that really bad-looking WWE film that's, WWE Netflix film. So anyway, what do you guys think of the Big Show? That's a really wordy title. The Big Show. Anyway, let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.